The top Pokemon Insider has given us information regarding Pokemon Legends Arceus DLC. Let's break it down. Yo, whoa, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka A-Drive. I'm bringing you guys a brand new video today, and today we are talking about the Pokemon Legends Arceus DLC that will supposedly be announced coming this Pokemon Presents on Pokemon Day. If you guys didn't see it, there is a Pokemon announcement happening on the 27th, this Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern time, and I'll be live streaming that on my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/adrive, where we presume Pokemon is going to put out an announcement of a 14-minute trailer discussing whatever is going to be taking place over the next year, 2022. We may get this obvious DLC announcement for Legends Arceus, and there is obviously the possibility of a Generation 9 announcement, but we're going to focus this video primarily on the DLC that we all believe is coming for Pokemon Legends Arceus. Be sure to like the video if you guys enjoyed this one, and of course subscribe to the channel if you guys are new so you don't miss out on the news that's coming. You want to hear it first, and I'll have it for you guys here. And I gotta let you guys know we just dropped a brand new merch drop. You guys gotta cop these shirts, man. They are so clean, and they're available now at teamshiny.com. If you use code Arceus, you get 15% off if you pick up 3 shirts or more. So don't miss out on this deal because these dudes are insane. Some of our best designs yet. Without further ado, let's dive into Pokemon Legends Arceus and the DLC Expansion Pass discussions. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna look at here is Riddler-Ku, and if you guys haven't followed, Riddler-Ku is someone who legitimately has been leaking so much information about this game. He puts out a poll last night that says, guys, wanna know what's coming on Pokemon Day? PLA DLC gonna be, and it's a poll of meh or pog. So he's already indicated that Legends Arceus was getting a DLC, now hinting at the fact that it's gonna be leaking and coming out, of course, during that Pokemon Presents on the 27th. He then goes on to say that evaluation criteria will be based on the contents of Sword and Shield DLC, so definitely you will know if it's worth looking forward to. So I think what people are kind of summarizing this as Centro is basically saying, if you were satisfied with Sword and Shield and the Sword and Shield expansion pass, then you're probably going to be satisfied with Legends Arceus DLC. That's where your expectations should be regarding the scope of it. And when we consider what actually took place in the Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC, there was quite a bit, right? And I'll break it down for you guys. I'll list some of the things off. In the Isle of Armor, we got the Max Soup, which allowed you to Gigantamax your Pokemon. Would they add an item that allows you to get alpha versions of Pokemon? There was new moves. They added new moves to the game. There was 18 move tutor moves added through the dojo. They added a way to clear your EVs from an NPC. They added the Cramomatic, which allowed you to get various items like Flame Orbs and Life Orbs, as well as Apricorn Pokeballs, which you otherwise wouldn't be able to get. They improved the wild area, so it was basically kind of more expansive of what the wild area was, gave places to kind of explore. They added the restricting sparring, which was an opportunity to battle under specific conditions. They added the Alolan Diglett collectibles, which allowed you to collect the various Alolan Diglets, which you've already kind of had through the Wisp quest. They added some various rewards like Alolan Executor and other Alolan forms, and then you have the opportunity to essentially join the dojo, amongst other things like getting new Pokemon like Urshifu for the first time, essentially added onto the DLC. Then we look at the Crown Tundra, which added more new Pokemon like the horses, of course, Glastrier, Spectrier, and Calyrex, but also added the Dynamax Adventures, or the Raid Den Adventures, which was a new Shiny Hunting mechanic, as well as an opportunity to receive and obtain rare Pokemon and legendary Pokemon. And then they added the Galarian Star Tournament, which was another battle system, which allowed you to battle against the trainers and stuff like that, and various, trainers that kind of came from all over the place. So that's pretty much the rundown on what the DLC added in the past. And if we kind of look at that as the baseline of what we could get for Legends Arceus, it really opens up the door of what could actually happen. Could they add things like abilities? Could they add things like health items? Could they add things like a battle structure where you can actually battle with people? Maybe getting a little ahead of ourselves, but I do think there's a very realistic possibility that they add Pokemon from existing games, right? They bring Pokemon back, as well as potentially new Pokemon. We saw it with the previous DLCs. It's not out of the question for them to add entirely new Pokemon like we saw with Urshifu, Calyrex, Glastrier, and Spectrier. So I do feel like there's a feasible possibility of us getting new Pokemon in general in this potential Legends Arceus DLC. Now I find this very interesting. Samus Hunter, who is someone who is kind of looked at it as a potential insider, they've gotten some things right, they've gotten some things wrong, has come out to say, imagine having a game about catching Pokemon. You want to create a living dex, but then you only get one quest that allows you to obtain one copy of a different form for a Pokemon in the game you can evolve. From what I gather, the DLC should address that. This is in regards to the Alolan Vulpix quest, of course. Then they go on to say that new Space Time Distortions will appear with new, related to the other Space Time Distortions, Pokemon variants. So if you guys have done the Space Time Distortions like I have, which is pretty much every day, trying to get my shiny Samurai, they have various Pokemon like Magnemite and Porygon and things like that, and it would make sense for the Space Time Distortions to then offer various forms like Alolan Geodude and Graveler and Executor and who knows what, Meowths, right? Different forms of Pokemon. Runerigus maybe, who knows? So I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up coming true. It's an interesting guess, or inside information, or whatever you want to call it, that we could potentially be getting, you know, something regarding that in terms of like old forms coming back. Now, kind of shifting gears about what this DLC could entail, there's a really cool thread posted by Ina9219 on Reddit that kind of summarizes some of the potential opportunities for what this DLC could be and where it could actually take place. So they've actually broken out into 4 parts, which I thought was very interesting. They mentioned offshore northwest of mainland Hisui, which includes Iron Island, New Moon Island, Full Moon Island, and then they talk about potential ride Pokemon, which I've actually seen discussed previously as well, where we currently have ride Pokemon for flying, for running, you know, for sniffing the ground essentially, right, for swimming. But it would be really cool if they added a diving Pokemon, right? The opportunity to go underwater could be really cool. So they said diving is not an option in Sinnoh, but that would be a good excuse to add something that we've never seen before. And then they talk about the minor landmarks of Full Moon Island and you know, New Moon Island, and how we've already gotten Cresselia, Darkrai, Shaman, so some of these ideas maybe don't make sense, but the possibility of Iron Island does kind of fit along here. I like number 2, the Battle Zone, which is obviously a post-game area in Sinnoh. There's an established population of Pokemon that are not in Hisui, which is how kind of the modern day Sinnoh is, and it's obviously a logical area to add more trainer battles, because currently Legends Arceus really isn't about trainer battles, but that would be good post-game content. What if a ton of trainers came through the space-time rift and all of a sudden you have like essentially a battle tree, right? A battle frontier, whatever you want to call it, of facing Red and facing, you know, I don't know, Misty and whoever else, right? Different gym leaders, all these different people are basically traveling back and forth between time. A little cheesy, but it could be a thing. And then you have an opportunity to battle them and their kind of historic teams with your team in Pokemon Legends Arceus, with hopefully an expanded Pokedex added from these DLCs. So they talk about the battle zone there. Talks about the Flower Paradise as well in Stark Mountain. They also go on to talk about Almia, or the equivalent. Hisui equivalent of the Oshima Peninsula is already visible on the map, and the region is the best candidate for the location of the Sinjo Ruins. The Sinjo Ruins are very heavily rumored as an exploration aspect of potential DLC, where we would explore kind of what these ruins are, as they are just simply an kind of disclosed, unmarked location in the Johto region, essentially. So it would be interesting if they pulled in the Sinjo Ruins and allowed us to kind of explore that. They go on to talk about the different areas of Hisui here, like the Fieldlands, Mirelands. They all have kind of the main locations, but when we look at Sinnoh, it is lacking the battle zone in regards to Hisui. So that's definitely an opportunity there. And then they go on to talk about the southeast of Hisui, which shows that there's clouds if you look in kind of the bottom part of the map. But when you look at the southeast part of the map, there's unexplored territory. They could really put anything there. Could be the Sinjo Ruins, could be really anything. So we'll have to wait and see kind of how that explores. But they could have us go all over the place, really, in terms of the current Hisui map and where we could travel to. So there's definitely a lot of potential about what this DLC can entail. But I think the idea of kind of setting our expectations based on what we got from the kind of previous DLCs is a really good place to be. Whether we get 1 or whether we get 2, right? That could also kind of lay the framework of whether or not Generation 9 is indeed coming in 2022, which I'll be talking about in a future video. So that's a lot to break down, but nonetheless, it seems like all the leakers are aligned that we are indeed getting this Pokemon Legends Arceus DLC expansion pass, and you should set your expectations to basically what your expectations were kind of coming out of the Sword and Shield Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra as a baseline. And again, we talked about all the things that were added through those, so the possibilities really are endless. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you think it can be more battle focused and maybe they shift gears and really give us kind of that competitive aspect to Legends Arceus? Or will it be more exploration focused, which is kind of more like what the Crown Tundra was? How many new Pokemon are they gonna add? Are they gonna add new Pokemon we've never seen before? Those are really the questions, and we'll have to see what comes true with those space-time distortions. Thank you so much for watching this one. Be sure to like the video if you guys enjoyed it, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and don't forget to cop this new merch drop, because it is so good. TeamShiny.com, use code Arceus to get 15% off if you pick up 3 shirts or more. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the channel. I really appreciate you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. My name is Dan. I also go by A-Drive, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.